friends, Jewel back with another super cool astrology video, and I wanted to address a topic that I get asked about fairly frequently, and that is orb usage in synastry and in the composite chart, and what are the proper orb allowances when we're talking about this. So orbs are how close the planets are together, how many points apart or close they are. And the closer the orb, the tighter that the planets sit together, the closer they are in degree, the stronger you are going to feel that aspect. So the wider apart they are, the weaker they are in aspect. And so when we're talking about conjunctions, this can be up to 10 degrees when we're talking about the luminaries, which is the sun and the moon. So if one person's sun or the moon is conjunct within 10 degrees, any planet or point, conjunct is near, next to, that's considered a conjunction. The other planets, the outer planets, Saturn through Pluto's more up to 6 degrees, planets that are conjunct to those. And Mars, Venus, Mercury, generally conjunct up to 8 degrees. And squares up to 8 degrees, considered in aspect. Oppositions up to 8 degrees are considered in aspect. Sextiles up to 6 degrees. Trines a maximum of 8. Noviles, septiles, semisextiles, deciles, quindeciles are all going to be a maximum of 1.5 degrees, because these are such minor aspects. If we increase that orb, then we run into an entirely different aspect, and we may be calling it a wide minor aspect when it's actually an exact other minor aspect. So we have to be really careful about our orb usage there. We're talking about those minor aspects that actually do play major roles. So asteroids, it depends on the asteroid. Major ones up to 5 degrees. Chiron, Pallas Athene, that grouping of, the major goddess asteroids are going to be up to 5 degrees. Typically, all other asteroids are going to be a maximum of a 3-degree orb allowance in synastry. And composite charts, we'll get to that in a second. In conjunctions are a maximum of 2 degrees, because this is one that you have to keep tight or you run into something, another aspect. So composites, allow for wider orbs in general, because what we're looking for in composite charts is themes. We're looking at the geometry and the math between the two people. The signs are not something that I consider very important in composite charts. It is the meeting of the two people that we're looking at. And when, I always do look at the chart angle rulers and the house rulers in composites and see where those are and how those are aspected. But I hold loosely the signs that things are coming through, because it's really about the aspects when you're talking about composite and Davidson relationship charts, which all of my composite videos also relate to. So aspects can occur out of sign in composite charts and still have a lot of weight. And this is when experience really comes in, because you will learn as you do more and more synastry, and especially composite charts and natal charts, that the planets speak to you through the client. You can hear with experience what they're saying and be able to pinpoint that in the chart, say, this is where that is coming from. So when you see an out of sign aspect in a composite chart, you will easily know how strong or weak this is figuring into the relationship by hearing the client describe what is going on regarding this. Sometimes they can be just as potent, just as strong out of sign aspects as in sign aspects in composite charts, because we're talking about the math. So, sometimes the signs get in the way of that, and you kind of have to train yourself to hold that loosely. We read composite charts similarly to natal charts, and I will do a series in the future showing how to read a composite chart. They're similar to reading natal charts, but they are different in some very key ways. In composite charts, we can, be up to 10 degrees conjunctions to all planets, not just the luminaries. And when you see things occurring, in very wide aspects in composite charts, it is still going to be a large theme, even if it is not close in orb. If it is really close in orb, it's going to be a huge thing. It's going to be, one of them overriding factors that you feel in the relationship. But even wide aspects are going to show up as, something that is definitely happening within the relationship. So it's it takes some experience to understand and really be able to interpret synastry and composite well. And orb allowance and orb understanding is something that a lot of people come to a personal set of rules that works, because astrology is a very intuitive science, and there is, the general allowances, but, some astrologers over time or with their own experience can develop a different understanding of what those are. So you also have to allow for that when consulting with different astrologers. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please subscribe to my channel. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com. You can find me on Facebook at Truth and Aspect Astrology. And yes, I do consultation. I'm mainly a relationship and intimacy astrologer, but I interpret all types of charts. And I will be back super soon with more super cool videos. Bye-bye.